In today's class, we'll study one more important rural development program, that is Prime Minister Employment Yojana. Now let us study in detail Prime Minister Employment Yojana or Prime Minister Rozgar Yojana. Now we'll see second program, that is Prime Minister's Employment Yojana or Prime Minister's Rozgar Yojana. It was launched on 2nd October 1993. Its main objective was to provide self-employment to educated unemployed youths, and it was designed to provide employment to the more than 1 million persons by setting up of 7 lakh micro enterprises. In this program, the government took the help of reputed non-governmental organizations, NGOs, in providing proper training to these selected entrepreneurs and helping them in preparation of the project files which were required to get the assistance, that is the financial assistance or the loans from the or credit from the nationalized banks. Now we'll see the target group eligibility, the eligibility of the individuals for this program. The first criteria is age. In this, the personnel who are educated unemployed at the age group of 18 to 35 years are allowed to be the beneficiary of this Pradhan Mantri Rozgar Yojana, but the age relaxation is given to the individuals from the northeastern states, that is up to 40 years of their age, and also the age relaxation is given to the personnel from the scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, ex-servicemen, physically disabled and women members up to the age of their 45 years. Second criteria is educational qualification. In this, the candidate should be minimum 8th standard pass, and preference should be given to the candidates those who have acquired the training from the government recognized approved institution for at least the duration of 6 months, that may be the government ITI holders or the diploma holders in the skilled streams. Next criteria is family income. In this, the beneficiaries, the income of the beneficiary along with its spouse and parents should not exceed more than 40,000 per annum. Fourth criteria is residence, that the beneficiary should be permanent resident of that particular area since the last 3 years. Fifth criteria is defaulter. The person should not be defaulter of any nationalized bank, financial institution or cooperative bank, or he should not be getting the subsidy from any other government scheme. Otherwise, he will not be eligible under this scheme. Sixth criteria is activities covered. In this program, all the economical activities, including agriculture and allied activities, are considered under this program, but the direct agricultural operations like raising crop, purchase of manure are excluded. We can say the enterprises like goat rearing, poultry farm or dairy or food processing, which are carried out as micro enterprises, are considered under this program to get the benefit. Seventh criteria is project cost. In this, usually the business sectors gets 1 lakh rupees, then 2 lakh rupees for the other activities. The loan is usually of composite type of nature, and if more than 2 persons they show their venture in a partnership, then the project can cover the maximum amount of rupees 10 lakh. So this program is usually focusing on joint, or we can say the group entrepreneurship. As this program welcomes the group ventures, the self-help groups can be considered for the assistance under this program. the self-help groups may undertake the common economic activity or start a common enterprise so that the loan can be sanctioned, because under this program the individual member in the self-help groups cannot get the benefit of the loan. And here the implementing agencies have to decide whether there is the need of a training to the members of a self-help groups. If they are trained, and then the project is filed, and then they are provided the loan. So the 8th criteria is subsidy and margin money. In this, the individual entrepreneur or the group venture or the group entrepreneurs, or we can say the self-help group entrepreneurs, can enjoy the maximum subsidy coverage up to the 15% of the total project cost, and minimum up to the 4.75%, or we can say 5% of the project cost. Here, if any of the entrepreneur gets 15% of the subsidy from the government, it's mandatory for him to collect 5% of the contribution, his own contribution, to make the margin money equal to the 20% of the project cost, because it's mandatory for the entrepreneurs, for the self-help group enterprises or the entrepreneurs, to have 20% of the project cost from the subsidy and the margin money contribution. They can get the financial assistance from the nationalized banks only for the remaining 80% of the amount of the project cost. Hence, the required margin money contribution should be brought in by the self-help groups collectively from all the members. Now we'll discuss a few of the important points about the scheme Pradhan Mantri Employment Yojana. That is, it was initiated in the year 1993. Then under this program, the educated unemployed youths, they are focused. The employment is provided to these people by setting up of near about 7 lakh micro enterprises, by promotion of 7 lakh micro enterprises, which will be helpful, or which have been helpful for creating more than millions of employment opportunities. And for this program, the government has taken the help of reputed non-governmental organizations in selection of these entrepreneurs, in providing training to them, and helping them by giving the financial assistance from the various nationalized banks. And now we'll switch towards the important questions usually they are asked on this topic. During the year 2013-14 and 16-17, the question was asked on this topic, that was enlist poverty alleviation programs and discuss in detail any two of them. So we have to enlist these major 4 poverty alleviation programs and discuss any two of them. And in our previous classes already we have seen our Swarna Jayanti Gram Swarozgar Yojana, which is related to poverty alleviation. Now we have seen Pradhan Mantri Employment Yojana, then Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act, which are related to this poverty alleviation. And here are the objectives given, which has been asked in your previous question papers, that are usually the full forms or the abbreviations. So this was all about the important rural development programs. In the next class we'll switch towards the new topic, the very important one. So for getting more information about such important topics from Fundamentals of Agricultural Extension Education, please subscribe my channel Learn Agricultural Extension Education. Thank you very much.